2025 is finally over, and now is the perfect time to talk about some movies that are coming out this year, the year of our Lord 2026, that I am very excited for. I know I'm like a little late, like January, we're already pretty much done with it, but better late than never, I always say, right? This is what the video is about. It's about, now I just gotta give a little preamble. Any of these movies, I'm excited for them, but I'm not gonna talk about them. Everyone already knows that there's an Avengers movie and a Star Wars movie and a Dune and a Supergirl and a Hunger Games and shit all coming out this year. These are blockbusters. They don't need me to hype them up. I just wanted to hype up some lesser known things that are... Whoa. And maybe you'll learn about a movie that you end up loving, you know? That is my goal for making this video. Up first, good luck, have fun, don't die. It's coming out in February. It's directed by my goat, Gore Verbinski. Love the guy. He directed Rango, which is my favorite movie, and should be yours, and if it's not, I mean, we got a problem. He also directed the Pirates of the Caribbean films. He also did The Cure for Wellness, which I think is underrated. He also did The Lone Ranger, which is objectively a very cursed movie, but I still kind of like it. Like, I don't like the casting, but I still like it. Finally, he's having a new movie for the first time in about 9 years, and I couldn't be more hyped. Even if it's not great, it'll still be visually stunning, very well directed, probably have some awesome action, and also probably be hilarious. It stars Sam Rockwell, obviously you can see that there, and a bunch of other actors that I know, like Michael Pena. This looks really cool and sounds really cool, and it sounds like an original concept, which we don't have enough of. So yeah, this is a weird, original, low-budget film that I think everyone should go out and support, so we can get Rango Part 2 off the ground. No, but in all seriousness, I love Gore Verbinski as a filmmaker, and I really, really hope he gets to make more movies, because I tend to enjoy pretty much all of them. Up next, Wasteman. This is a prison drama about two guys becoming besties in prison, I think. Just kidding, I don't really know that much about it, but I wanted to put this one up because it's a first-time director. His name is Cal McMayu? I'm sorry, I'm really bad with pronouncing names if you haven't watched my first couple videos, but it's starring these guys, David Johnson and Tom Blythe. Tom Blythe you might recognize from being in the Hunger Games. He is young President Snow. And David Johnson was just in The Long Walk. And he was in Alien, and he was the best part of both of those movies. So I'm quite excited for this movie. Apparently tense, raw, and very brutal, according to Variety. Gonna come out February 20th, so keep an eye out for it. Up next, In the Blink of an Eye. One second, let me move this poster over. This is an upcoming science fiction film, another original concept movie. It's about our past, present, and future, because I know it's about cavemen, I know it's about the modern day, and I know it's about exploring other planets. It's written by Colby Day, who's a sci-fi writer, and he's pretty cool. But the reason why I wanted to point this one out is the director. His name is Andrew Stanton. He's not a director whose name you might have heard of, but I have a feeling you might have seen some of his movies. He directed Finding Nemo, did WALL-E. He's basically one of the geniuses behind Pixar's best movies. He's directing Toy Story 5. He also wrote the first 4 Toy Stories. He also made John Carter, which is like the biggest bomb in cinema history. So he's left his mark on cinema history, whether he likes it or not. And I think this movie seems really interesting. I mean, it's an original concept. Up next, this movie called Undertone. This is an A24 horror film. Everybody loves A24 these days, but I think the marketing for this has been very creative. I got sent something that was apparently about this movie, and it really creeped me out. So thank you, viral marketing, for that. It was terrifying. This has a great poster. Apparently there is a trailer out, and I saw that somebody called this movie Evil, which makes me very excited because horror movies should give off that vibe. So yeah, Undertone. Up next is Heel. Looks really weird, but I like weird movies. This is about a guy going through a rehabilitation, I believe it's drug rehab, in this house alongside this family. But it seems like they are training him to be more of an obedient, good boy, if you know what I mean. Stars Stephen Graham, Andrea Riseborough, 2 very, very talented actors, and Anson Boone, who, for some reason, I know his name, even though I don't think I've seen him in anything, but he's got a memorable face. This movie looks really weird. Really tense, really exciting. Hope it's good. Up next, 2/13/26. This one I'm really gonna hype up. This is called Nirvana, the band, the show, the movie. Despite the mouthful title, it is on purpose. It is a joke. This is my most hyped movie of the year, probably of all time. I loved the web series. I love the show. Basically the conceit is that it is these really very silly, dramatic plans that these 2 friends come up with, and they go out in the city and film themselves doing it. And while the show itself is scripted, when they go out, people will watch them do this stuff and they have no clue what's happening. Sometimes the reactions people have will factor into the story, like somebody offers Matt alcohol in one of the episodes, just a random person, and then he becomes an alcoholic for the rest of the episode. It's so great, and I'm not doing it justice, but just find the web series, find it. It's really not hard to find. Just comment if you want to find it. I can show you. This show is fucking hysterical. I almost got to see it back in December, but I couldn't, unfortunately, because my grandma died, which is like double sucks, because, you know, I love my grandma, and I miss her, and but this movie also looked really good. So yeah, just talk about a shit sandwich. I am super excited for this. I saw the first 10 seconds of the trailer and it looks fucking crazy. Pretty much the entire time I watched the show, I'm like, how did they get away with this? How do they get away with this public stunt? The first 10 seconds of the trailer that I saw, and then I slammed my laptop shut, shattering it into pieces. This is a new one. I'm just completely shocked at what they're getting away with in this movie too. And I'm so fucking excited. It looks so cool. Moving on. Whitney Springs. This is a movie I really wanted to talk about. This is a movie being produced by Trey Parker, Matt Stone, the creators of South Park, as well as Kendrick Lamar, who's apparently starring in the movie. They wrote the film. I forgot who's directing it, so I'm sorry. But this is a movie I really want to talk about because Paramount is trying to bury it, and they don't want you to know about it because it's very controversial. It's apparently about a guy who plays a slave in a Civil War reenactment, finding out his girlfriend, her ancestors owned his ancestors, and it's like it's an insane plot for a movie. And it's also supposedly a musical with music by Kendrick and Trey Parker and Matt Stone. It sounds insane. And I think Paramount is burying it because they're afraid of being controversial in the eyes of conservatives. I hate to get political, but this movie is probably going to be incredibly political. And Paramount, I mean, if you've seen the rehearsal, you know all about them. But yeah, Whitney Springs, apparently it's coming out in March now. It was supposed to come out last year in July in theaters, but they all of a sudden pulled it and put it straight to Paramount Plus, which is essentially just taking a movie and flushing it down a toilet, because who the fuck has Paramount Plus? Up next, Project Hail Mary. I'm super excited about it. It's based off of a book by Andy Weir, which I love. It's a sci-fi book that somehow makes you feel smart when you read it. It stars the GOAT, Ryan Gosling, who've been told I look like. What can I say? Basically, I don't want to spoil anything, but it's about a guy who is tasked with saving the world from the sun, which is slowly losing its temperature. Which is like, if it's slowly, is it really that, is it really that crazy? Yes, if it gets, we're at a very, I'm sorry, I'm getting sidetracked. The talent behind the camera and in front of the camera is insane for this. I mean, it's based off an Andy Weir book. He's an awesome author. It's being written by Drew Goddard, who's an incredible screenwriter, and it's being directed by Phil Lord and Chris Miller, the guys behind the Spider-Verse films, the Lego Movie, 21 and 22 Jump Street, Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs, some other thing I'm probably forgetting. They're awesome. And I've been excited for this movie for years since they announced it in 2020, so I've been waiting with bated breath for this to finally come out, and it's coming out in March, and I'm so excited. I don't want to say anything else, and I also want to say don't watch the trailers. They spoil way too much. I know when you're sitting in the movies, you can't, the trailers are playing right there. As soon as this starts playing, the Project Hail Mary trailer, get up and use the bathroom. Or just do some jumping jacks, I don't care. Up next is Normal. I don't know that much about it. It's about Bob Odenkirk being a small town sheriff, and something goes amok. That's all I know, and that's all I really need to know. Love me some Bobby Odenkirk. Ben Wheatley, he's kind of a hit or miss director for me, but he's made a lot of stuff that's connected with people, so hey, if this seems like your cup of tea, I suggest you go for it. I'm excited for it, that's for sure. Up next, this is Mother Mary. This is a film by David Lowery. He's a director who I love. He made The Green Knight, one of my favorite movies. He also made Ghost Story, The Man with a Gun, Pete's Dragon, Peter Pan movie that sucked balls, so let's ignore that one. But he's a very talented director. And this next movie is apparently about like these rival pop stars that were also lovers or something. Oh, it sounds like, as the bitches say, sounds like tea. Yeah, it's coming out in April. It has Anne Hathaway in it and Michaela Cole, two very talented actresses. Anne Hathaway's actually having an insanely good year. She's in this. She's going to be in The Odyssey. She's going to be in Verity. She's going to be in The Devil Wears Prada 2. She's actually going to be in another movie that I'm going to talk about later on the list. So we'll get to it. We'll get to it. Up next, Disclosure Day. This is the new Steven Spielberg movie. He's going back to his roots, back to the Close Encounters of the Third Kind vibes one of my favorite movies, one of my favorite Spielberg movies. It's about making the choice of whether or not to disclose the existence of aliens to the public. You know, it's a Steven Spielberg blockbuster. There's going to be car chases. There's going to be crazy shit. It's got Emily Blunt, Colin Firth, Josh O'Connor, and I'm so excited. I'm a huge Spielberg meat rider, and I will watch anything he makes. And but this actually looks really cool. I hope it's good. It's an original sci-fi concept that he's come up with. David Koepp, who's writing the screenplay, is I think he's very good. I think he has some misses, but I think he has mostly hits. I'm very excited to see what this is about. The trailer was very mysterious. I like a good trailer that reveals nothing, and I don't want to really know more about it. One second, I gotta let my cat out. Hey, buddy. So yeah, Disclosure Day. It's coming out in June. Quite excited. I just can't hide it. Up next, Flowervale Street. This is the movie with Anne Hathaway that I was referring to earlier. This is being directed by David Robert Mitchell, who is a director I really, really love. He made It Follows, very underrated horror movie in my eyes, and he also made another very underrated movie called Under the Silver Lake. It's a movie that you kind of just don't get the first time you watch it. I kind of did, not the flex, but I kind of did get it. But it's really awesome movie that would have gotten any director blacklisted, so I'm so happy he is making another film. This seems to be more of a blockbuster affair. Warner Brothers gave it a pretty big budget, and it's apparently about a suburban neighborhood in the 80s that is getting attacked by dinosaurs, or at least that's what it's sort of about. I have no clue. This whole thing's a mystery, but I like the director. I love the cast. It's Anne Hathaway and Ewan McGregor. It sounds really, really cool. Keep an eye out for Flowervale Street. Flowervale Street also sounds like a placeholder title. So if it does end up changing, I will post a comment correcting it. This was supposed to come out last year, but it got switched out with Weapons, which was supposed to come out this year. Weapons was awesome, so I'm fine with that. And hopefully this will be awesome. Yeah. So family in the 80s start to notice bizarre happenings in their neighborhood. F yes. Up next, Forgotten Island. This is a DreamWorks animated movie, and while I think DreamWorks are hit and miss, I'm particularly excited for this one because it is being directed by Joel Crawford, who also directed Puss in Boots: The Last Witch, which I think is one of the best DreamWorks movies ever made. Definitely one of their best recent movies. I think it has such a great energy, great script, great character work. And I think if that energy gets put onto whatever this is, the Forgotten Island, which apparently is supposed to be some sort of pirate adventure, sounds really cool. Even if it's not as good, but close to as good as Puss in Boots: The Last Wish, that's still really good. I love that movie. And that's the main reason why I'm excited for it. And yes, I know animation, it's a whole team of writers and filmmakers and animators. But I feel like Joel Crawford, he's proven himself as a filmmaker with Puss in Boots: The Last Wish. And I think this movie hopefully will be good. So yeah, keep an eye on Forgotten Island. That also sounds like a placeholder title, so if it changes, I'll also comment it. Up next is Digger. It is a film that's coming out in October, so I can't get too hyped because it's going to be a while. Being directed by Alejandro G. Iñárritu. You might know him from Birdman. You might know him from The Revenant. He's made a bunch of phenomenal movies. I don't see why he would start making a bad movie now. Another big budget blockbuster Warner Brothers thing, but it's made by an artsy director, which I really like that direction that they're going in. Starring Tom Cruise. It seems to be about a rich and powerful guy who causes some sort of ecological disaster, and now he's trying to fix it. But because he's a rich buffoon, he mucks it up, and it's supposed to be a comedy, which if you've seen Birdman, that movie's quite funny, and I think it fits his style. Up next, Whalefall. Don't know anything about this. I have not seen any of this director's movies. His name is Brian Duffield. I just wanted to talk about it because the logline was so incredible. It made me very hyped. A scuba diver who, while looking for his father's remains, is swallowed by an 80-foot, 60-ton sperm whale and has just 1 hour to get out before his oxygen runs out. That sounds awesome. It sounds a little ridiculous, but it also sounds awesome. And that to me just sounds like the shit that movies are made of. A guy gets eaten by a whale and he's got to get out. What you gonna do about it? All right, let's move on. Up next is Wildwood. This is a movie from Laika, being directed by its CEO, Travis Knight, who also directed Kubo and the Two Strings. Laika, they're a stop-motion animation company. They made Coraline, The Box Trolls, Kubo and the Two Strings, and this is their next thing. They haven't made a film since 2019, and it seems like they are focusing a little more on script quality, which is kind of my main issue with a lot of their movies, that the scripts were kind of iffy. This is based off of a book, which I think helps them also, because Coraline is the other adaptation that they've done, and they did phenomenal with that. It's apparently about like this girl whose little brother gets kidnapped by a witch and she takes him into the wildwood and she has to go there. There's a couple trailers out and it looks visually stunning. I'm really excited for this. I love fantasy. I love stop motion. So you mix them together and you get a movie that I will definitely watch. I also think stop motion as an art form is something that we need to keep alive because it's just so cool. And also, I want to make a stop motion movie someday. I really do. Narnia, this one I'm more cautiously optimistic about than just like, whoa, I'm excited. I think Greta Gerwig, she might be getting a little too cocky because I've seen some stuff about this movie that makes me a little concerned adaptation-wise because I'm a huge Narnia guy. I love the 2 movies that Disney released and I love all 7 books, warts and all. And it seems like she's adapting The Magician's Nephew, which is a fantastic starting point because it's the first chronologically. But it seems like they're also changing a lot of stuff tonally and also timeline-wise, which makes me a little worried. Like, if Greta Gerwig was to adapt The Last Battle, which is the final book, and say, oh, I'm gonna change stuff and because I think I can do it better, I would believe her. But The Magician's Nephew is such a sweet, nice, awesome book. Please don't screw this up. I would be furious because I'm a big Narnia guy. All the casting seems really good. Daniel Craig as the uncle, Carey Mulligan as the mom. The 2 kids seem close enough. I don't know who they are. It really comes down to whoever's playing Aslan at the end of the day. Emma Mackey also as the White Witch. Perfect casting. I'm really excited for this. I really hope they don't try to modernize it too much because it's kind of a timeless tale, and modernizing it I think will just make it age worse than the previous films made by Andrew Adamson, which I think are awesome. I'm still excited. I think it's so cool that Greta Gerwig has the pull to like say, no, Netflix, this is coming out on IMAX for 45 days. I think it's awesome that a filmmaker has that pull over a corporation. It makes my heart happy. So you go, girl. Don't fuck this up, though. Up next, Werewolf. Can't get too excited about this because it's not coming out till December. We don't have a poster, we don't have a trailer, but it's Robert Eggers who's made The Lighthouse, The Wit, The Northman, Nosferatu. He's kind of falling into this sort of, folk horror type beat, which I'm fine with because they're all very high quality. I really hope he doesn't just do the same thing over and over as his movies, though. This movie has Aaron Taylor Johnson, Lily Rose Depp, and of course Willem Dafoe, who's in all his movies. It seems like it's going to be really freaking cool just because all his movies have been. Pretty excited for this one. Let's move on. My final film I want to talk about is Raygun. This is a movie being produced by Skydance Animation that has made a bunch of bad movies. But I think this one will be good because of this guy right here. His name is Brad Bird. You might not know his name, but you definitely have seen his movies. He made The Incredibles. He made The Iron Giant. He made The Incredibles 2. He made Mission Impossible Ghost Protocol, the best one in the series in my opinion. And he's a very talented filmmaker, not only in animation, but in live action. Apparently this is about some sort of retro future detective story, and that alone just sounds awesome. All of his films are kind of covered in that retro futuristic aesthetic, and I think he's finally going to master it with this one. It's supposed to be coming out this year. I'm not sure if it will, because animated movies, obviously, hurdles can happen. I trust that Brad Bird will deliver a great product, though. So, yeah, I'm super hyped. That was all the movies I was really hyped for that are coming out this year. Hopefully they do end up coming out this year and not 2027 or something, or they don't get delayed to 2027. All of these movies I'm pretty excited for, but like everyone already knows about the Avengers. Everybody knows about the Mandalorian and Grungus. I wanted to open people's eyes for a couple of lesser known movies that might pique people's interest. I really love filmmaking. I love film. I'm passionate about it. And I think not only movie theaters, but just like film interest is dying recently. And I'm not saying that I'm going to be the one to save it, but like I got to try a little, I got to try a little bit. So yeah, that's all I got to say. Have a good one. Follow me on Letterboxd at Ian the Movie. Please subscribe and like and give a nice comment or a mean one. It's engagement, so, I can't complain. But yeah, have a good one, guys.